Welcome back to Lenz Comic Corner, Classic Lesson Known Classics. This episode number 2768 and Doubleshot number 2662. We got a Starman trade and a Superman trade. First up we have is Starman Omnibus, Volume 5. Yeah, this is the penultimate trade of the collect issues from this run for Starman. Excuse me, this book collects issues 47 to 60 of Starman Volume 2, issue 1,000,000. Stars and Stripes number 0, Stars and Stripes number 0, also comics 80-page Gen number 1, excuse me, JSC All Stars number 4. So, we see how James Robinson on the writing here, with Davis co-writing one of the stories. Peter Songenberg is the penciler. Jeff Johns writes the Stars and Stripes issue. And these additional pencilers: Steve Yall, Craig Hamilton, Chris Winston, Lee Mulder, Steve Swirsky, Dave Ross, and John McCrae. The cover is Tony Harris. The guiding light is Archie Goodwin. I think probably it's a tribute to him. So, we start with issue number 47, where we have this villain getting beaten by... So basically, this issue here is pretty much basically a standard issue focused on the modern-day Scalp Hunter. And mostly the old dares. There's also appearance here by Black Condor, who did have an brief ongoing series in the 90s. And for some reason, he was added to Birds of Prey Volume 3, got all Black Canary for some reason, I don't know why. So yeah, Brave Stallion issue. Stuff with the Black Pirate. It's mostly put just a standalone issue focusing on the O'Dares. And then we come back to the adventures of the two Starmen. Well, we then cut to issue 1,000,000. Which, of course, Tony Harris does cover with Pat Carney. This mostly put just basically featuring Ted Knight taking on some electric villain. And he's here with Starman from the year 1,000,000. That's him, who is not a robot, because it seems like anybody from the year 1,000,000 is like a robot. This one? No, not really. So yeah. Interesting issue. There's even a brief flashback where apparently the Starman apparently fought Icicle, Killer Wasp, not Killer Moth, Killer Wasp. Yeah, look at the costume, like, yeah, that's Killer Moth. He's called Killer Wasp here for some reason. I don't honestly know why, but it's a great standalone issue. And smashing basically this observatory thing. And then finally come back to the main story here. So on board the ship, there's an AI of Ted Knight here. And of course, basically, we see the Justice League. Well, basically, the lineup at the point in time this book came out, it is comprised of Superman, Martian Manhunter, the Wally West Flash, Karen and Green Lantern, Orion, and Scott Free's beautiful wife, Big Barda. Yep. Yeah. It explains the whole thing with that, and of course they go on their little space adventure. Yeah. Supposed to be Rampage. Yeah, so first they go to this... Yeah, basically they're on an alien expedition to find somebody. We'll get to it. So, we've also put see like a version of like Black Canary. They go to this alien planet for a quick standalone story. Actually, two-parter where they run into Solomon Grundy. Yes, how the heck is in space? Not really explained here. And then we have a flashback of... Actually, it's like David Knight talking to basically Jack because it's part of a curse, which gets lit by the end of the series. And then we see Black Canary, looks like Ted Knight, Starman, Kent Nelson, Dr. Fate, Rex Tyler, Hourman, and looks like it'd be Alan Scott, basically an illusion of them. And it's an interesting thing. It's a little quick, close two-parter. And then, they end up in the future where they run into Starboy of the Legion of Superheroes. And here's a little fun fact about him being here. This leads to something that's a pure setup for the big story arc that will basically be the penultimate story arc of the entire series. So yeah, during the year 2298, I think there was a Legion of Heroes published this period of time, so I guess James Robertson probably felt as though, hey, why not have this mysterious darkness, basically, and we have Shadow Aspir here, who apparently is from the same species as the alien Starman. Well, the first one, anyways. So they run into some demons, and they run into the Insect Queen. So then, of course, they find out who's responsible for this great darkness coming to Earth, and it's the Shade. Yeah, the Shade. Which, okay, Shade's immortal, so that's the reason why the reason why he's still alive. But how is he causing the consumed darkness? Apparently, according to him, his old arch nemesis Simon Cup infected him with slow aging disease, and that's what caused him to be like this. It's quickly solved within just a couple issues, and there's a hint of basically of Starboy becoming Starman. It's a little bit set up there, and then like right after, basically, they do that, and then this is really weird. They go to Krypton before it was destroyed, and they run into Superman's biological father, Jor-El, and of course, the alien Starman also runs into his father, Superman's grandfather, which does come to play later on in the thing. So, yeah, there's the whole thing. I mean, I love this whole Krypton stuff. And then, like, the very next issue, they go to planet Rand, where they meet Adam Strange, which I think this is probably the only time I can think of James Roberts ever wrote a book with him in it. I can't think of another one he did. And it's there with Elena, and there's some... By the way, Conjuro himself makes a cameo in this story, because why not? There's a mention here about... well, there's also a brief cameo look like by Starfire, or maybe someone looks like her, because it's, yeah. And by the way, here's Conjuro, make a quick cameo again, beaten by Jack Knight of all people. Yes, Conjuro, an old enemy of, yeah, so he's supposedly killed, and then he's revived. And get this, all the tattoos he had from the start of the series, they're all gone. Yeah, they've all removed. And I'm not really sure exactly why Robinson did this for, where, like, okay, so did he regret giving his character tattoos? Tattoos he's had since, like, the start of the series. As for why in the world they couldn't exactly put the tattoos back. So, yeah. Really interesting issue. And of course, Adam Strange will come later on in this series to help out with the big story arc that takes up like a full year after this arc. And of course, there's various stuff with the there's various stuff here going on here, and then we have a Scalp Hunter story in the middle. We have another Scalp Hunter story, him teaming up with Shade. Really good here. I love the artwork of the story. It's so awesome. Yep. And then coming back to present day, where we run into old DC character Space Cabbie. Yeah, talking to various people, and it turns out his passenger just happened to be, well, somebody famous. And of course, Jack Knight runs into Starfire, who's supposed to run into Earth. Runs into the Gorgonians, of course, yeah, they freed him, and then apparently it turns out his passenger turns out to be Space Ranger. Okay, a bit of an explanation about this. He's from what I've heard about him, he's a somewhat obscure DC superhero who's from the 50s, kind of like Captain Comet. But Captain Comet's a bit more known than, let's say, Space Ranger. His appearances mostly been cameos here and there since the 50s. Yeah, he's not that big of a character. I guess James and I was just wanting to throw in some obscure characters for reasons unexplained here, so. And there's a funny bit here. We have this alien, like, yeah, him and looks like Ted Knight just making faces. It's just so funny. And then we come back to Earth, where it's an issue featuring Phantom Lady, the current one. I think it's D is her last name, and of course there's also Black Condor and Scalp Hunter. Yeah, it's Serial Life Part 2. You have Shade working with Ted Knight, obviously. Yep. Yeah, and there's stuff in here with the Phantom Lady here and the Shade. Still really cool stuff here. Should explode, but don't worry, they get replacements, so don't worry. Yeah, then they get captured. They're on this alien planet. Yeah, and it turns out this planet is a home of Prince Gavin. Those of you curious, who the heck is this guy? This was a Starman created by the late Steve Ditko back in the early 80s. He was a predecessor to... He was the third to most recent predecessor prior to Jack Knight. Yes, he came... I think came after the Alien Starman from the 70s. Yeah, he actually got featured in All-Star Adventure Comics. And then they explain stuff here with the discussion afterwards. Yeah, and then there, of course, this story is later this year reveals the reason why that they got into space. Excuse me. Well, there is a reason why. After everybody was saved, so yeah, the reason is for Will Payton. Okay, this guy was the star of the previous volume for Starman, and he is the brother of Jack's fiancée, Sadie, otherwise known as, well, Jane. It's like, Jack Knight, I'm Starman. Let's be more important. I'm your sister Sadie's boyfriend. Sadie's the middle name. Jane, then your sister Jane. She word he asked me to find you. I must really love her. Yep. Yeah. And it's revealed kind of here that and this is kind of a weird explanation where like and here's like Gab back. So it's kind of revealed here. I think this is James Roberts being confused by Gavin and Will Payton, where they're kind of the same person, where when Gavin died, his memories with Will Payton was like a reincarnation. Yep. And of course, well, they take care of the region because, well, he's back. And then basically in the finale, they beat him. And with peace restoring Gavin's home planet, Jack and Mikkel return to Earth. Yep, because the mission's done. Yep, so he decides to stay. But at least basically the mission succeeded. They find Will Payton alive. And they go home. And then this leads into, like, then we go to JSA All-Stars number 4. We have an issue where Starman works for he's agent of the FBI. And then we have Stars and Strike number 0. Where it's like Jack guest starring in the book. And, well, then we have like stuff with Infinity Incorporated. Yeah, 2 different versions of the team. Actually, this is 7 Swords Victory. This here is Infinity Incorporated. This issue kind of explains how Pat got his stuff here. Really fun book. I love the Stars and Stripes stuff. It's so fun. Yep. And it's so fun the fact Courtney beats Icicle by kicking him in the balls. Because, why not? Yep. Comment her tattoos, then we come to the APH Giant where it's, well, Jackknife versus Wildcat. Yep, because why not? It's a quick thing, and that's it. And this is the penultimate, this is it. Next trade is the last one. And we're done reviewing Starman, but this book is awesome. I give this book a 10 out of 10. Next up we have is Superman, the Name of Gog. This book, she's written by Chuck Austin, J.D. Flynn. Artwork, Ireas, Carlo Danita, Joe Brio, Luke Ross, Renee Goulis, Cliff Richards, and Sean Davis. The cover is by Ian Churchill, Art Ems, and Joyce Kin. This book here collects Action Comics 820 to 825. Yeah, mostly put like after the previous work here. First we have for 820 where Superman takes on the beautiful Silver Banshee. Yep, we deal with her like, yeah. Not a fan of the art style per se on everybody. Like, a lot of characters look good. This arc, the only one personally is good is Silver Banshee, and then we run through the Creeper, because of course we have the Creeper here because he's in the book now. Yeah, then Doomsday returns because the whole thing worshiping false gods. Yeah. And we have a guy who thinks he's part of Krypton, but yeah, that's the next few issues here. Name of Gog. Marshman is here too. He deals with this person, and Superman, Superboy basically here too deal with this very arrogant guy. Yeah, we really talked to him. It's like, yeah. Yeah, and of course Lois is basically who's in wheelchair. Like, what's this? Pains. Uh-oh. Yeah, so Chuck Austin has this is something I think Chuck Austin got flack for. Reigniting the jealousy between Lois and Lana over Clark. Yeah, and then of course there was this big bulky guy who fights Superman, who thinks he's all powerful. He also thinks he's the Hulk too with his size. Yeah, it's like DC it's like Chuck Austin really wanted to write the Hulk, but yeah, he writes him as like a stupid Hulk. Right, and he wears a freaking Speedo. Like, why? It's like, yeah, the Name of Gog was really interesting. This is just bizarre. And of course, he fights off with Crypto. Yes, freaking Crypto starts biting him. Because, why not? Yeah. Then Doomsday comes in. Marshall is beaten up. And of course, we deal with this guy here. Also, for some reason, Superman has been aged up in this issue. Like, why? And of course, then we deal with this anti-Superman brigade. Like, calls him a filthy traitor? What? Yeah, guys got Perseus. Yeah, and then of course you have Hawkman trying to join the fray too with John Stewart to stand down and fights him. He fights him for quite a while. And of course, it's kind of like in the future, these issues here. And he gets down. And clearly this place called New Krypton. And then he proceeds to rip off the S off of him, like as a freaking symbiote. And that somehow stops him. And then we have the Gogs show up. Yes, Gogs. Yep. Yeah, it's like Superman in the future, and of course, then Doomsday returns. Batman's here too for a quick guest star appearance. Yeah, fighting, of course, basically a bunch of Supermen, and of course then we have the what Linkara calls bearded idiot, all because Gog is tormenting him for years. Then Doomsday comes in, just beats people up, goes to kill Superman again. Yeah, and then of course, he brings basically back to the present day. They think he killed Gog. Nope, he didn't kill him. And then we have where pause the future, and of course he gets up. This Gog gets up, and of course he just disappears. And that's it. I do like the arc here, but it's like you're reading this stuff like, what the heck happened here? Like, I love the opening issue. The opening issue is really good. 820 is fantastic, but the remaining issue of this book is just not that good. It's like, oh, let's have Hulk fight off against a rip-off Hulk for a few issues. Yeah, give this book a 8 out of 10. Yep. So yeah, that's it, particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do not hit this like button. See you all later for my reviews for Reborn, The Master Blade, That's Our Current Slime, This is Team Academy, Case Closed, and Black Butler. Okay, see ya. Bye.